There we go.
Hey, welcome everybody to the weekly Backdrop Developer Meeting. It's August 4th, 2016. Uh, some general announcements to kick stuff off. The Calabox Beta 3 is now out. Calabox has got great support for Backdrop, and when you install with Calabox, you also will get a fully functioning Drush. And if you want to try out some fancy Docker-based workflow, with Backdrop, give Calabox a shot. You can donate to Backdrop CMS at backdropcms.org/contribute, and you can get a Dragon T-shirt as a thank you for your donation, or a hoodie. Although we are running out of both of those things, the website is up to date with the sizes that we have available left. So if you would like to donate and we have a size that fits you, then we can send you a T-shirt or hoodie. Um, if you are in the Backdrop Contrib group, you are entitled to a free PHP Storm license for open source software development. And you can contact us, info@backdropcms.org, if you would like a license to PHP Storm. Updates from the PMC this week. I don't think that we have any updates. So we will just keep rolling on. Infrastructure tasks. So infrastructure are things around Backdrop that isn't the software itself. And we'll start off by talking about the packager. The packager had been broken for a little while. That was preventing fully built zip files from being uploaded back to GitHub when a new release was made. This has finally been fixed. It's issue 264 in the backdropcms.org issue queue. Gore had done some work a couple months ago, actually, to update the GitHub API module, but we needed to do some work and some testing to get that actually up and running on backdropcms.org. Now that is in place, and the packager should be corrected. We also went through the past couple of months and found the packages that hadn't been processed correctly and rebuilt those. So it was only like 4 or 5 packages that actually ended up being broken over that period, because it looks like a lot of the time the packages actually were working, but sometimes it was just the first time wouldn't work, but the second time would. So anyway, now it's fixed so that it should work every time. So that's great. We can remove this from the agenda for next week. As an enhancement to our packager, we're also evaluating issue 1992 in the backdrop issue queue, and that is that we want to add an MD5 checksum for all of the projects as they're built, so that way you can verify that the archive hasn't been tampered with. There isn't any progress on this one. It's just mostly an idea. I think this would probably be most helpful, not for manual checking, although manual checking is great too, but also for verifying archives when you use like the built-in project installer, for example, to make it so that the automatic process of installing modules is verified in some way. Okay, let's see. Testing infrastructure is the next item on the agenda. I don't think that there's actually much going on here in this testing infrastructure issue. We have one issue, issue 1478, that is tracking all of our random failures that have been happening in our testing suites. Although as I've been seeing, the random failures have been decreasing really pretty regularly, and I think that now that we've disconnected Travis CI, which was having a bunch of problems, Zen CI has been really pretty effective about running consistently, and the random failures that we were seeing haven't been cropping up so much. Uh, let's see. Wes, regarding basis showing up on backdropcms.org. So this is back on the packager. Have you've made an official release of Basis, I'm guessing?
Yep. shows up on the releases tab and it has a zip and a tarball.
Did you edit the release to make it into like an official, edit the tag to make it a release on GitHub?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It shows up in the releases tab, right? That,
Yeah.
hmm.
Uh, well, I would try it again today if you haven't already, because it should. The changes just went in yesterday. Let's see, one release. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so you need to actually click on, so it has a tag, but it doesn't have a release, which I know is a weird thing. Um,
Hmm?
oh, yeah, yeah. So if you look at the releases on GitHub, it's weird the way GitHub works. When you push a tag, it's not the same thing as a release. So you actually need to edit the tag on GitHub and then add some release notes, and then it becomes a release in the mind of GitHub.
Ah, all right.
Yeah. It's
Thank you.
okay. It is kind of confusing that GitHub has that separation. We could actually run the packager on tags rather than on releases. Um, but uh, actually, I'm not sure we could because I don't think that we can attach stuff to tags. I think it has to be a release before we can attach compiled versions of things. So. Okay, let's see. Another note, we turned off Travis CI. We're using Zen CI now for all of our continuous integration, which has continued to be awesome. So great job, Gore, on that. I have a bullet item in here that I was going to evaluate style CI, which does code style checking. But actually, almost immediately after looking at it, it didn't take me very long to look at it and go, this isn't very good. It only does PHP style evaluation, and it is very limited in what it is actually capable of doing. So I don't know. I guess we could still have it there as a starting point. Might be good, but I know Gore is also working on style checking for ZenCI. I'm not really sure if it's worth pursuing. Anyway, if anybody has any strong feelings about style, like code style checkers, or has any experience with them, I'd love to hear about possible options there. Let's see, JavaScript-based testing. We do not have any JavaScript testing in Backdrop's implementation of Simple Test, although it's been noted that Drupal 8 added JavaScript testing in 8.1, but all of it is still simple test based, so it is possible for us to imitate most of those fixes because simple test is mostly the same between Drupal 7 and Drupal 8. So it would be great for us to take a look at that issue on Drupal.org, which is 2716803. And that might provide us some insight into how we can adapt that code for Backdrop. Okay, let's see. We also have it in here. Automatic updates is a thing or a topic that we have been discussing recently in the Backdrop issue queue, issue 2024, in which we're trying to think about ways that we can make so that Backdrop, besides just being able to install new modules, could automatically update modules that you have installed and possibly Backdrop itself. It's one of those things that it's a really hairy problem, but it would also be fantastic for us to accommodate for at least security updates to make it so that users weren't spending all of their time just updating Backdrop sites if they have a whole bunch of them. Fits in nicely with our mission to make website development more affordable. If we can reduce the amount of maintenance that is required while still keeping people's sites secure, that would be a huge win for us. Right now, that's just a meta. We don't have any implementation details quite yet, but we've got some ideas about possible ways that we could accomplish that. Okay, next item on the agenda in infrastructure is backdropcms.org, our flagship website. Things that we're working on currently that should be coming soon. Single sign-on with GitHub is backdropcms.org issue 178. I know last time we checked in on this, Gore had been saying that he built single sign-on into the GitHub API, and Jen was going to try it out and test it. The good news, or good progress that we've had on that front, is that while we were fixing the packager, we also updated the GitHub API module on backdropcms.org. So we're running the latest version now, which has the single sign-on ability built into it. So we have the latest code up on backdropcms.org, but it's still not integrated. So at least that's some progress there. We're currently queued up on getting that tested and then integrated properly into our login process. Let's see, showcase sites. The Backdrop showcase, it has been completed as far as I know. It looks like, well, maybe not completed, but it looks like we have the content type built out, and we're looking for content. So if you have a showcase website that you would like to include on backdropcms.org, it looks like you should be able to add a showcase node on backdropcms.org, and then the actual presentation we'll be working on in the future, it looks like. You can check in more about the showcase section in issue 176 in the Backdrop issue queue. As far as the support section goes, we're working on building out documentation in the support section of the website. That's issue 55. I know Doc Wilmot has been doing a bunch of work in her documentation recently, so it's been great to see that growing off these items as he goes through them, and he's got a good number of them completed. So it's great to see Doc Wilmot coming back in and doing what he loves to do the most. It's right in his name, documentation. Okay. Forums, we've got a lot of ideas about forums. You can check in there, issue 18 and issue 250, both in the backdropcms.org issue queue. I think that we've both been looking at, well, we've been looking at the forum module that Drupal 7 had, and we're also looking at alternative forum modules, the name of which eludes me at the moment, but it's there in issue 250, I believe. Let's see, updates underway, some things that we need some additional help with. Usage statistics, we have these usage statistics reporting accurately now, but they're not easily accessible on the site. So if you'd like to work on making it so that we have a block or an item to actually show the number of sites that are out there running a particular project, you can participate in that issue at issue 243. Find modules, themes, and layouts pages. Let's see. Oh, this is still usage statistics related. Sounds like, oh, Jeff isn't with us today. But he's looks like Jeff has been doing some work on this, making it so that you can get usage statistics using the GitHub API module. But it looks like he's stuck because he's making so many requests that he's being rate limited by the GitHub API. But we can use, if we authenticate, then that drastically increases our rate of queries that we can do against GitHub, so that might unblock him there. Okay, excellent. That looks That would be fantastic. So once we have the usage numbers, well, I mean, we have usage numbers, but we also can get like download numbers, and I think that's what Jeff's talking about here. Yeah, because issue 95 is about displaying the number of active installs and the number of downloads. And so we have the number of active installs from project module, but the number of downloads is currently only stored on GitHub because GitHub holds our archives themselves. Okay, it's great to be seeing some progress made on that. Let's see. Blog news announcement follow-up issues is issue 110, but looks like it's been closed as of 2 weeks ago. Looks like we can probably remove this one from the agenda. Okay, I will just remove this one. Gone. All right. Let's see. The event listing. If you visit backdropcms.org/events, this page was just kind of thrown together, but it doesn't have any. A designer's touch has never been on this page. So if you have design skills and have taken a look at the rest of our website, a review of the of that events page would be nice, but really it's actually already all built out. Let's see. Gregory, could you give an update on this next item, convert product features to nodes and the list to a view? I'm not familiar with this one.
Yeah, well, there was this thought that see how we have the list of features in the front page with the font icons and everything. The idea was to have separate nodes for each feature, and with videos or screenshots or whatever we needed, and that automatically picking up certain fields like a title or blurb and some small description, and then putting that together as a view in the front page. But then when people click on each individual feature, it goes and it tells them more details about that. Yeah, I've started doing most of that. It was just lack of time and then lack of ideas. I can use some help with the wording there, but yeah, there's some progress.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, this actually looks really good. So you can visit backdropcms.org/features, and it's just a view right now, but it looks like you've got the content type built out in the fields and stuff like that. Yeah, this is looking real good.
Yeah, no styling yet, nothing with the view. It's just simple, and we'll see if we need more fields for the actual feature nodes, but we'll see how it goes. It's a start.
And we haven't. Right now, it looks like the front page is still like the why use backdrop CMS is still just a node with HTML in it, but we'll switch it eventually. Nice.
Yeah, it looks good. It's ready. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. All right, let's see. Service listing follow-ups is issue 194 in the backdropcms.org issue queue. I'm not familiar with this issue either. Without Jen around today, I'm kind of stumbling through this backdropcms.org section. Doesn't look like there's been any updates recently, but we have some items that we would like to polish in the service providers section. It looks like adding sectors, more filters and facets for services offered, location, time zone, and a special section for hosting. Looks like this is all a meta item or a meta issue though, each of which has a sub issue. So it looks like all of these things are wish list items that we need someone to take the lead on building it out. It's issue 194 in the backdropcms.org issue queue. Okay. Any other infrastructure items that we need to bring up related to the website or testing or the packager or anything else? Okay. All right, so let's talk about Backdrop. So Backdrop, the project itself, we're always making improvements, and let's talk about what we're working on. So Drupal 7.50 was released, and we've made a meta issue at 2013 to start cross-porting all of the applicable changes from 7.50 into Backdrop. I see that Jeff and others have been going through, Gregory as well, Gore, have been going through and marking items not applicable, like if they're not an issue, or some things we've already gotten to 1.4.4, which is great. That should be coming out imminently. But 7.50 also has some features that will probably push into not a bug fix release, but into the next minor release. So it'll be in 1.4 with other things, including one of the most interesting ones to me is full UTF-8 support, which means that that Backdrop will be able to support emojis. Right now, if you post an emoji and then save, it doesn't get saved properly because MySQL will cut off half of the bytes of the emoji, which is not cool and not appreciated, that all of your emojis turn into little square boxes after you save them. So it would be awesome to have full emoji support. I'm sorry, full UTF-8 character support, which happens to me emoji pretty much. But that does include some API changes because it changes the way that MySQL stores data. So there's an interesting amount of discussion in the Drupal issue, and we also have a Backdrop issue at 884 to discuss full UTF-8 support. Let's see. 1.4.4. 1.4.4 is the next bug fix release. It will be coming out imminently. We've got some items here that have been brought up. The path auto when you set up a content type. Oh wait, target token field. Sorry, this is a different one. I think I already gave this a review, but maybe it needs another one. Just when you add a pattern to a content type, when you're setting up the initial path auto pattern, that when you open the token dialog, it should just focus the field. Yeah, it looks like Jeff has come back in and updated the pull request. It looks like it just needs another review. The front page, not respecting the number of post settings, issue 2021, that's been merged. Publishing status on node types. I haven't seen this one yet. 954, which looks like it's RTBC and has been RTBC for quite some time. All right, awesome. Thanks, Gregory, for adding these. It looks like this may be the hand of Klonos here. Okay, so a couple more issues that can maybe slip into 1.4.4. We have a special section in here for major bug fixes that need to be addressed, two of which have been knocked out, a third one that's still in progress that needs review, and a fourth one that is fixed but needs a test case. So the first one is the Safari Flexbox problem. We've gotten confirmation from Jen that we finally have fixed the Flexbox problem in Safari. Wes, did you ever get a chance to confirm that as well?
I'll do it today. I did not.
Okay. Yeah, we actually found a bug in Bootstrap itself in the grid system, which we've posted feedback back upstream to Bootstrap to see if they can reproduce or fix that problem in Bootstrap itself. It's funny, we fixed the problem in Backdrop's Bootstrap grid system CSS file, but in Jen's situation, she had the full Bootstrap library also loaded on her client site. And so even though we fixed it, the full stock Bootstrap library broke it again, which was a very unpleasant surprise. Yeah, so obviously we need to get that fixed upstream as well. And then that would solve the problem for everybody. CK Editor, every time you upload an image, it unloads CK Editor. That has been fixed by Jeff. Thank you very much. And has been merged. We're just waiting on the release. Images are being deleted after 6 hours if you upload them into a block or into other configuration stored items. I know that this has been waiting on review for quite a while, and I'm hoping I'll get to it this week. Path settings do not get saved when creating a new content type. This has been fixed but needs a test case. Yeah, I had mentioned in previous weeks that as soon as we fix any one of these issues that we should ship 1.4.4. We fixed 2.5 of them at this point, just the test missing from that one. So we should be releasing Backdrop 1.4.4 imminently. I had actually hoped to do it yesterday, but the packager fixing took a little bit more time than I expected. So, but we will be pushing a 1.4.4 very, very soon, almost certainly this next week, but maybe as soon as today or tomorrow. It's really as soon as possible. Okay. We also have a bunch of other things that are tagged for 1.4.4 for the next bug fix release, but in the event that they take more work than just simply merging them, they'll probably get pushed to 1.4.5, and we need to push out 1.4.4 as soon as possible. Okay, the 1.5 release, that's the next minor release, comes out September 15th, 2016. That's coming up real soon now. We're getting to the point that that's less than a month and a half away, which is a little bit stressful because we haven't merged any of our minor features yet, but we've made some good progress on a lot of them. The first item we've gotten here for the 1.5 release is the reference module. It's a rewrite, essentially, of entity reference that supports full support for referencing between any type of entity. Mike had been doing the work on that. I can tell you just unmuted because I can see the construction workers.
Yeah, they just. Yeah. So I have just. Wow, they just really started that. Okay. So I've just been playing with trying to get the entity reference to be able to reference arbitrary entity types depending on what you want. And I just posted an update to the ticket with my new sort of thing where you actually have a checkbox on the field instance to say which types of entities / bundles should be referenced. And then when the user can either select one of those that are available, or if only one's available, just has the autocomplete. So if you guys want to check that out and let me know what you think, that would be good. Yeah, and then just a bunch of other stuff to do. So.
Cool. Yeah, that looks. That I will post some feedback there. Yeah, I'm a little ambivalent about it at first, but I'll think about it and see and then post some feedback. You can check out the issue. It's issue. What's that?
I was going to say any better ideas are welcome. So.
Okay.
But the problem is that the autocomplete needs to know the base table that it's autocompleting on, so it can't autocomplete across different base tables.
Yeah.
So if you want to be able to reference different types of entities within the same field, you need to have like a selection that tells you which base table you're autocompleting against.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Feedback appreciated. That's issue 1301. It's also in contrib under backdrop contrib/reference module if you'd like to try it out today on your own sites.
And my goal is
okay,
to try to get an official release of this maybe out or something, or at least workable by the end of the month, so we have a couple weeks to test things out before merging into core if we decide to do that.
Yeah, that sounds great. Okay, excellent. Next item, a new front-end theme in core. We had a design meeting today in which we discussed this a little bit. But sorry, Wes, I'm going to make you do it again. Abbreviated. An update on the basis theme?
Yep, working through issues. I just got a PR up for 1 gram reported, and I'm running through basis right now to catching a few little things here and there. But yeah, I'm in the queue trying to resolve those things and at least respond, and should be making a lot of progress here soon. Oh, and I might have a real release that shows up when you search for it. Hooray! Other than a GitHub search.
Yeah, GitHub search, man. Okay, great. Let's see. We also have a to-do checklist. This has said that, yeah, it's likely that this is going to be kicked to 1.6, and I'm fine with that. Let's see. Let's just keep going. New homepage layout is issue 1042. We want to have a page that is that ships with Backdrop that is a layout that just handles the front page and is made up of blocks instead of being that weird /node page. Issue 1042. It doesn't look like there's been any update recently on this one. But we have a fairly simple plan here that we will just add a layout that's /front, make it the home page, and then iterate on it from there. Let's see, rich text editor meta, issue 1087. We have a whole bunch of items that we could be improving about the way that CK editor works. There's some features in the new version of CK editor that we already have that we're just not utilizing yet. Things like copy paste, image support, drag and drop uploads, those sorts of things. So we have an issue that lists a whole bunch of sub items at 1087. I don't think that there's been any serious progress on any of these items as of yet. So if anyone has a real passion for JavaScript libraries and rich text editors, we could use some additional input there for those meta issues. There's a bunch of other items that are tagged for the 1.5 release. You can check them out on GitHub under the 1.5 milestone release. And that's it. If we manage to get those things in, we will have a kick-ass release, and it's going to be super exciting. But it seems like once again we've cornered ourselves into this situation where it's going to be a mad rush at the end of the release again, which, gosh, it makes me it gives me the tummy willies, but it usually has turned out okay after the release. So we're gonna get right into this last month and hopefully kick some serious ass here. Next item on the agenda, we've got the community growth update, which actually is really pretty exciting for this week. Okay, that was Gore that dropped off. Gregory, do you want to give us the community growth update?
Yeah, sure. Now that the packager is fixed as well, we have some actual updates for the projects. Anyways, here we go. We have 300 total projects on Backdrop CMS on GitHub. That's +9 since last meeting. 208 projects with official releases on backdropcms.org. That's +6. We have 318 releases on backdropcms.org, which is 17, not actually since last meeting, but since the last time that the packaging was working. We have no change on the backdrop contrib authors. It's 54 still, and there's 14 pending applications. No change for organization profiles either on backdropcms.org. That's 24, and we have 7 new users registered on backdropcms.org, which brings the total to 321. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, awesome. All right, that's a good time to make a reminder. I think that if you are interested in doing backdrop work or are looking for backdrop work, you can sign in to backdropcms.org and add a node as a service provider, and you can be an individual or an entire company to add your, and we have 2 different kinds of profiles for each, and you can get listed up on backdropcms.org. I know Jen and I are probably outliers in this, but we've actually been getting a lot of requests for people that do backdrop work. And so we've been giving them out as much as possible. So there is work out there. It's actually a little bit, it seems like we're already getting into a situation where demand is outstripping supply as far as developers are concerned, which is great for developers. And so if you are such a person, you should be listing your services up on backdropcms.org to help people find you. News and announcements. Let's see, we have an official blog schedule posted up on the backdropcms.org issue queue, issue 158. Jen wrote up, I think Jen is the one that wrote up this, a Twin Cities Drupal recap, which was great, and also talked a little bit about our efforts in trying to pursue automatic updates. So that's great. It was a really good camp. That was a while ago now, but we had a really excellent time. Jen is actually at another camp doing another training today, which is why she's not in this meeting with us. If you have an idea for a blog post, you can comment on the issue 158. You also can just create a node on backdropcms.org and write up anything backdrop related that you feel like would be great to distribute with other people. Yeah, we're really pretty open to any posts because we really would like to have a regular stream of news coming out from backdropcms.org. But as we found out, we really like writing code, and running blog posts is not nearly as much fun. But you still have to do it. All of our code means nothing if nobody knows about it. Okay, let's see. Newsletter schedule. We have an issue for this at 177. We have not sent out, gosh, this is embarrassing. We haven't sent out a newsletter for the 1.4 release. So we should just send out a note to all of our subscribers. We actually have like several hundred. I think we have like 600 or 700 people subscribed to our newsletter. So we can reach a lot of people that way whenever we feel like it. But we haven't been real good about actually utilizing it. So we would like to write up a basic newsletter saying, hey, 1.4 is out, check out these awesome features. Maybe at this point now it's mostly just a reminder that 1.4 came out rather than an announcement. But still, outlining all the features into people's inboxes would be a big win. Let's see, community outreach meetings. Every other week we do community outreach that alternates with the design meeting. So next week we'll have another community outreach meeting. The agenda, you can get a link to it from the developer, or the weekly meeting agenda that we're going through right now. Sprinting. It's Thursday. Thursdays are backdrop days in which many members of the community, such as those illustrious people here within this hangout, get together and work on backdrop. Our primary means of communication is in the backdrop issue queue, github.com/backdrop. However, we also regularly communicate on Gitter. We have a Gitter IRC channel that you can access from those repositories, but the URL to it is gitter.im/backdrop/backdrop-issues. And that gets you to our primary channel in which we talk about all things backdrop in real time. There is an IRC channel, although we're really trying to funnel people into Gitter as being our primary place of communication. IRC, it's on freenode/backdrop. You can also use IRC if you're a diehard fan. You can use IRC to connect to Gitter, and then you can use your regular tools to communicate with everybody else that's online using Gitter. We also have a Reddit channel. I think that I might remove this, but the Reddit channel is basically just for around the web conversations about backdrop. Reddit.com/r/backdrop. Upcoming events. You can check out a list of upcoming events that are backdrop friendly or have backdrop presenters at them. There's a lot of Drupal camps around the country in which backdrop people will be present and presenting. One of which is DrupalCorn, which is happening right now. So if you are in the Iowa Midwest area, you should go to Cedar Rapids and check out DrupalCorn happening. There's also Drupal Camp Asheville that's coming up in just a week. Looks like that will be next weekend, not tomorrow, but the week afterwards, in which we will also have some backdrop people present. You can check out more. There's a whole slew of them at backdropcms.org/news/events. Books. We like touting this just because it's so exciting. There are two full-length books available on Backdrop. Beginning Backdrop CMS is out on Apress, and you can get it from Amazon, as well as Migrating from Drupal to Backdrop, which is a slimmer volume. So we're really excited to have those pieces of literature available. They're really pretty great books. I haven't yet owned a copy of Beginning Backdrop CMS, but from what I've seen and what I've read, it looks really excellent. And Todd Tomlinson has a great history of excellent Drupal books, so lots of confidence there. That does it for the agenda this week. Does anyone else have anything else they would like to bring up and discuss?
Just a real quick one. For each release, like when it happens, do we have like a task list of things that need to be happening afterwards? Like, you know, we have various people doing various tasks, like, for example, the feature list that we mentioned before. So each time a new version comes out, some people need to go through the new features added and then add those as nodes on the main website. So do we have a list of things that we can just tick off? Do we have anything like that somewhere available?
Let's see. Is this for... Are you talking about the 1.5 release or the 1.4, the next bug fix release?
I think major releases mainly, like minor releases. Yeah, and it's not the code part with you committing things, but it's sort of like the after the release, like the announcements, stuff like that need to happen once the release is out.
Oh. You know, we don't. I would love to start delegating that, because right now what it is at least the past couple of releases, I've written up the release notes and the announcement and done the release, which basically takes up like 3 whole days of just doing everything. So actually planning, I don't think we do, but I think that would be great. And I think for starters, it would make sense if we just made an issue in the main repository that was like planning for the 1.4 release, and just had assignments of like who's writing up the announcements, who's writing up the newsletter. Like it would be nice to have that done beforehand, actually. If we're doing any videos or screencasts or anything like that, and then actually have that planned out rather than it just being like a surprise, like it's all out, and basically I need to do nothing but do a release for a couple days. Does that sound like what we're looking for?
I was thinking like we could put together like a Google Doc, like the agenda pretty much like we have as a template, and with each release we create an issue somewhere in the queue, and then that will have people assigned to each subtask, and we can sort of like tick things as we do them, and once we're like 90% ready, we just release. Or at least we have a general idea where we're at and who needs help with what.
Okay. Yeah, both of those things sound like great ideas. So my thought on that is great. Let's do it. Okay, looks like we're losing people.
I'll file an issue for that, but not right now. I'll do it within the weekend sometime. I'll do that.
Okay, excellent. Thanks, Gregory. All right, we're losing people left and right because we're at the top of the hour. But yay, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you everybody for joining. We'll be meeting up next week. As I mentioned, there's the community outreach meeting next week, and then right after that will be this developer meeting once again. So thanks everybody for joining, and thanks everybody for watching.